Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to talk to you about pronunciation in English and share some of the words with you that you're probably mispronouncing. To be completely honest, English is a really weird language because there are so many words with very strange pronunciation. And unfortunately guys, the only way to know the correct pronunciation is to check it in the dictionary or to Google or to watch this video. Because I'm sure there are going to be a lot of words in this video that you are probably mispronouncing. And if that's the case, make sure to leave a comment and share with us which words you used to say incorrectly. And now let's begin with the first word. Anyway. Why is this easy word in this video, you might ask me? Well, basically, the reason why I decided to include this word is that a lot of people say anyways. They often add this s at the end of the word. For example, I'm gonna help you anyways. But guys, I feel like at the very beginning of the video, I already want to confuse you and tell you that actually sometimes it's okay to say anyways, because even though it is like a grammar mistake, native speakers still say it all the time. They often say anyways instead of anyway. But one very important point here is that please don't make this mistake during exams, because it is a mistake after all. So for example, if you're taking IELTS or TOEFL, try to say anyway, because some people might consider anyways a mistake. But on my channel, I actually have a video with some of the most common mistakes that even native speakers make. And there I talk about how some of the mistakes are actually okay to make if you want to sound more fluent in English.
What happened to your knuckles anyways?
Salmon. I think this is probably one of the most commonly mispronounced words right now. In this word, the letter L is silent. And actually in English, we have a lot of the examples where the letter L is silent. So it should be pronounced salmon and not salmon. Imagine there is no L. Just forget about this L, don't let it confuse you, and just say salmon. Salmon. For example, I don't eat salmon because I'm vegan. I know that silent letters are very frustrating, but again, the only way you're gonna know for sure is if you check the pronunciation in the dictionary, or if you also watch my video, because on my channel I have a video about silent letters, so make sure to check it out as well.
Slice and twist the salmon, just like the picture.
Yolk. Let's continue our saga with the silent letter L and look at this word. Yolk. First of all, I think for a lot of you guys, this word might be new, so let me first share the meaning of this word. So the word yolk describes the yellow part of an egg. So an egg consists of two parts, an egg white and an egg yolk. And so it would make sense for the letter L to be pronounced just like in the word color, for example. So yolk, that's how many people say this word. But unfortunately, in this word, the letter L is silent. So we have to say yolk. Again, imagine that you're trying to rhyme this word with the word joke. Joke, yolk. And the same is true of the word folk. For example, my folks are gonna be so mad if they find out about this. And here, the expression my folks means my parents.
If you warm the bowl slightly before you beat in the egg yolk, it changes everything.
Stomach. I know guys, the words I prepared are absolutely golden. There are so many misleading letters in this word. So a lot of people, let's just start from the very beginning. A lot of people say stomach because they think this st should be pronounced as like in the word slow, right? Stow. But it's not correct. We have to say sta. For example, just like in the word fun, sta. And obviously the last part of the word should be pronounced as k, stomach. And that's it. A lot of people want to make this ch sound, right? Because it's natural. The ch sound is often pronounced as ch, for example, in the word cheese, but unfortunately, stomach is not correct. So for example, you have to say, my stomach really hurts. And a bonus word, if your stomach really hurts, you have a stomach ache.
Unless, of course, Louisette is having a stomach ache.
Quay, a French word. We all love them until we actually don't. Quays are platforms built next to bodies of water used for loading and unloading something or someone. The synonyms are a dock or a pier. And looking at this word, it's easy to see how many people say Quay instead of key. But the correct pronunciation is key, just like the key you used to open your apartment door. For example, the quay was long and narrow, so it was hard to unload the goods.
There's a boat by the quay.
Remuneration. Let me be completely honest here. Before filming this video, I was actually making this mistake myself. I used to say remuneration instead of remuneration. And this is a very common mistake in English. So basically, a lot of people flip these two letters. They flip the M with the N, and instead of saying remuneration, people say remuneration. Maybe because of the word numbers. So that's why in our heads we feel like numbers, so this word should be remuneration. But it's wrong. The reason why I want to include this word in this video is that even though it's very advanced and very formal, it's very often used in the workplace, and I want you guys to sound as professional as possible while you're at work. For example, in return, they offered him a small remuneration.
Summary of out-of-pocket expenses, time required, remuneration, funeral arrangements, so forth.
Before I move on to all the other words you're probably mispronouncing, I just wanted to let you guys know that I teach English and Russian on italki. And if you ever wanted to have an individual class with me, here is your chance to start doing that. And if you use the link below, you can get $10 off as a gift from me upon your first purchase. And now let's continue with the video and look at the word clothes. So this is a good example of this magic E. We have this in this word, but we don't pronounce it. A lot of people say clothes, which is not correct. Just forget about this E sound at all. Imagine that it's not there. But then the tricky part of the word is its end, because you have to say the and then z, and it's very, very hard to pronounce, even for native speakers. So basically here we have two variations. If you feel confident, you can try to say clothes, right? It's pretty hard. But if you're speaking fast, and here a very important thing is that you have to speak fast, you can say close, just like the word close the door, for example, the same pronunciation. So for example, I need to buy some new clothes for my trip to Barcelona this summer. So here I said clothes, but you can also say clothes if you feel like you can make this the and then z sound. All you have to do is just bring your tongue back in as fast as possible. Clothes. And that's it.
You don't like the clothes, Charlie? On completion of duty, you can give them away.
Desert or dessert. These two very similar looking words have three totally different meanings, and it's very important to know how to pronounce these words correctly. So basically, if you're talking about the dry, sandy place where camels live, you have to say desert. For example, the Sahara Desert. If you're using this word as a verb to mean to leave something or someone and no longer help them, you have to say desert. For example, my confidence deserted me once I walked into the exam room. And this word with two S's is always pronounced as dessert. For example, my favorite dessert is ice cream.
I've been treating you like a spoiled kid ever since I picked you up in the desert.
Women. Even though the first three words are the same as in the singular woman, the pronunciation here is different. Here we have to say women, just like in the word sit. Women. And that's it. For example, I have a lot of amazing women in my family.
I'm to be sent with the women into the caves.
Let's look at this word right now. A lot of people say pseudonym, pseudonym, but in this word we don't pronounce the P letter at all, so we have to say pseudonym. A pseudonym is a fake name used by authors or artists, and this word is a great example of this silent P that is present in a lot of the words in English. For example, J.K. Rowling used a pseudonym when she started writing crime fiction, and if you're wondering, her pseudonym was Robert Galbraith.
Because I write under a pseudonym, and I loathe what I write.
Bury. A lot of people say this word as bury because of the word fury, and obviously in a lot of the words we pronounce this U letter as U or U, so that's why people try to say bury or bury, but unfortunately the correct pronunciation is berry, just like in the word berry, like I like berries with my oatmeal, for example, like strawberry is a berry, so the same pronunciation. The word berry and berry are homophones, meaning they have the same pronunciation. And here I want to teach you a very famous American idiom, bury the hatchet. It means to make peace, to stop arguing or fighting. For example, Jerry and Cindy had been avoiding each other since the divorce, but I saw them together this morning, so they must have buried the hatchet. So they must have made up, they must have stopped arguing.
My friend Harry and I would like to buy you guys a round of beers just to bury the hatchet.
And the last word you're probably mispronouncing is subtle. So a lot of people want to say subtle. They want to pronounce all the consonant letters here, just like in the word debt. A lot of people, instead of saying debt, they want to say debt. But unfortunately, the B letter here is silent. We have been covering a lot of the words with silent letters in this video, but subtle is a pretty unique word because silent B sounds in English are very rare and they almost never pop up. And another interesting thing is how people would pronounce this word in American English. So in British English, people would say subtle, but in American English, people would say subtle. So they would make this T sound into a flap T sound. On my channel, I have a lot of videos about American English, about American accent. So if you're interested, you can watch this playlist and explore other rules of the American accent. So now let me give you an example with the word subtle. There are a lot of subtle jokes that can make you smile.
My mother was more subtle.
And yeah guys, I think it's gonna be it for all the words that you're probably mispronouncing. I think the video turned out very interesting and I hope now you know and you remember how to pronounce all of these words. Again, the most commonly mispronounced words in English are probably salmon, clothes, and stomach. So make sure to at least remember the correct pronunciation of these 3 words. And again, as a quick reminder, you can book English or Russian classes with me on italki and also get $10 off upon your first purchase. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!